In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create buttons and interactive shapes that could be utilized in your current setting. For example, this could be to create a game or to create a certain scenario that presents itself through student choice. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, the first thing that I might want to do is think of a question that I might ask my students as a third grade teacher. So for example, if I wanted to see if they could tell what word did not belong, I would ask them, what word does not belong? And then I would want to add a text box to talk about the instructions. So I might say, click on the word that does not belong. If you are correct, you will be prompted to go to the next question. If you get it wrong, you will come back to this page and be able to try as many times as you want. So let's go ahead and see if we can make that happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a shape, and I can do that right here where the shape icons are. Go ahead and click on it. You have all these different things that you could do. I'm going to go ahead and let's create a cloud. So I'm going to create my clouds, and maybe I want to edit it so I can make the clouds, well, we'll make those clouds those nice colors, but we have a green theme going, so we'll do that. And let's say that I decide to change the font and I want to make different words. Okay, let's do nouns versus verbs. So dog. And maybe I want to center that so I can align it like a regular Word document or any word processor. Now, rather than recreating that over and over again, if I want the same font and the same color and the same type of cloud and the same size, I'm going to go ahead and right click, copy, and then right click, oops, and paste, which you can also do right up here and edit. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue pasting, right clicking, just so I can. And then I'll go ahead and change all the words. You can really do it in any order, whatever works best. And now that I have let's add two more actually. All right, now we can go ahead and we can see. So, plate, school, car, chicken. And that one, for some reason, doesn't seem to be aligned. It looked a little off, so I'm going to come up to the alignment, make sure it's in the middle. Maybe I'll say 1, and then we'll do door and office. So we know that the correct answer is going to be run because it's a verb and all the other ones are a noun. So we want our students to be able to click on that, and then perhaps they could explain in person to a partner. Either way, we need to create the feedback. So the next page is going to be one of my feedback pages. Anytime one of my students clicks on the incorrect version, I want them to come to a page that says try again, and perhaps I include information such as examples or different strategies that they could utilize to go back. Now, I want them to be able to go back, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to add a shape that can act as a button or a link, or I can just add a text. Remember, it's up to you. For our purposes, let's go ahead and do both. We'll add a little button just like that, make it dark green. And what you can do is by double clicking, you can actually add text inside. For example, go back and try again. Let's go ahead and make it a longer one. I want it to align in the middle. And then you have those guidelines to show you the different dimensions. Let's go ahead and we'll change the font. Now, just adding the shape doesn't make it a button. Remember, you have to link it, so we'll go ahead and we'll come to the shape and click on it, and we will insert the link. Remember, we can go to slides in the presentation. We don't want it to always go back to the previous one, so let's go ahead and go to the slide that says what word does not belong, which was our slide 3. And so that's going to now, whenever we are in presentation mode, the student is going to click on it and it's going to take them right back. However, in the event that they click the right one, we want them to be able to be prompted to go to the next question, but also receive feedback that they were correct. So that's why your 5th slide in this format, or the one right after your incorrect version, is going to be, congratulations, you got it correct. And so then perhaps there's some sort of video, some sort of image, or perhaps there's some sort of challenge problem that they can attempt. But either way, you want to take them to the next one. So similar to when we were trying to say go back, we can even add 2. So what we could do is say, let's do that, which is a button. And as we said earlier, let's go ahead and we can say, go to the next question. And so we can move that so that it's in a place that's more visible and sequential maybe. And then what we could do is we can even add a text box and say, click here if you want to return and review the question. And then what they could do is you could either link the entire sentence, or I capitalize here because I want them to just click there. So what I'll do is, again, add the link, go to slides in the presentation, and click slide 3. Oops. For this one, we might want to add a link, and we just want it to go to the next slide, so we can just generalize it like that. Whoops. And that means that we have an error here, so we might want to go ahead and delete that. It was looking at what happened was we double clicked and it went into the text, meaning it's just going to say next slide just like it did when we linked the words. So if we want it to be the shape, then we need to click out once and then click on the shape itself instead of being in the text. Then you can link it to the next slide and the words will not show up. It'll be the button itself, which is the shape. So let's see if it works out. It probably won't because we forgot one last linking, which I'm going to show you now, but just so you can see, if it's just clicking on the slide, it is always going to take you to the next one. So let's see if we can click here to return and review the question. It does link us to the right place, so let's go ahead and exit out because we have some editing to do. So what we need to make sure that we do is we want to link all of these clouds. Every time they click on the cloud, we want it to link to the right slide. Remember, the incorrect versions go to slide 4 and the correct versions go to slide 5. So we can go ahead and you can actually, if you press down Shift, you can click on all of the ones that you think are correct. Now we don't want it to include run, so what we might have to do is just go ahead and just click on the ones you can see that around the clouds there's a mark that's showing that it's selected and this one isn't. And so then we can try and see if we can add a link. Might not be able to if you select it all at once, so just go ahead and do it one at a time. And we can go to slide 4 because it's incorrect. Slide 4. And so I'm going to apply that link to all of the slides that are incorrect. Now, if you really wanted to provide more personalized or differentiated instruction, then you might actually want to create different slides that each one goes to so that there's more specific feedback. For this purpose, though, we're just showing you how to link it. Now, remember, this was the correct one, so make sure you go to slide 5. Congratulations. All right, let's see if it works now. Dog. Try again, whatever your explanation and your examples, go back and try again, and here we are. All the links seem to be working the way we want. Go ahead and do run. It's the correct one. If we want to go back, as we saw earlier, it'll go. Now we can go to the next question.